Today I'm going to talk about character arcs. A character arc is basically the psychological change that a character undergoes throughout the story. In my work in progress, Outsiders, my main character, Robin, changes quite a bit throughout the story. At the beginning of the story, she believes the lie told to her by the government that all outsiders are evil. She starts to change her mind after she meets some of them and finds out they're not evil at all. By the end of the story, she's so convinced of this truth that she puts her own life on the line to help them. I found a similar character arc in the movie JoJo Rabbit. If you haven't seen the movie yet and you ever plan to, be careful because I am about to reveal some spoilers. JoJo Rabbit is the story of a 10-year-old boy growing up in Germany during the time of the Nazis. He joins the Hitler Youth Program and believes everything they tell him about the Jews. He hates the Jews and believes they are evil and subhuman until he finds one living in the walls of his house. As he gets to know this Jew girl living in his wall, he comes to find out that everything he's been told about them is wrong. And by the end of the story, he's also taking a serious risk to help keep her hidden. Now, I love this movie, even though it has some crude moments. From a storytelling perspective, it really does a lot of things right. Secondary characters can have arcs too. In my story Outsiders, the secondary character Paul also has a character arc. He starts out with the unrealistic idea that everything will always go well for him because God is watching out for him and God doesn't ever let his people suffer. By the end of the story, he's suffered a lot, so he has to decide how he's going to deal with that. Is it going to make him bitter? Or will he realize that just because bad things happen doesn't mean that God isn't still in control? A good character arc should be relatable to the reader. They should be able to go on this journey with the character and see the transformation take place. It should feel very natural. It should also fit well with the theme of your story. In Outsiders, the theme is truth versus lies and why truth matters, no matter how uncomfortable it might be. So for Robin to learn the truth about the outsiders and let that change her, and for Paul to discover that Christians do suffer, seemed to me like pretty good character arcs. I don't know, what do you think? How do your characters change throughout your story? Do you have any tips for me in writing the type of character arc I described? I'm curious to know. If you have anything to share, please put it in the comments. Well, that's all for this episode. If you'd like to help me out, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Another way you can help is to check out my Etsy store for fun and unique items. Just follow the link in the description below. And if you're a Christian artist, writer, or other creative type of person, please consider joining my Facebook community called All Christian Artists and Writers. Shalom!